Good morning, everyone. It's the Mental Advocate here with your daily dose of serotonin as we talk about feeling trapped in your emotions today. So, let's get started. And just a quick PSA before this video starts, I'm not a professional counselor or a licensed therapist. There are some resources and links at the end of this video that can connect you to a live crisis team if you are in need of help right now. Please utilize them. I'm just a real guy who wants to help open the door for hard conversations and real connections, and I hope that through watching these videos we can establish the relationship and also share some stories about our humanness because we all deserve love, and I want everyone to find hope and help through the series. Now, the main point I want to center around this video is that a lot of times we dictate how we feel based on the feelings of others. Now, the main point of this video I want to center around is that a lot of times we dictate how we should feel based off of others in society or others around us in our circles. We're going to kind of work on wading through the static a little bit and really trying to center ourselves and our emotions and grounding what we believe to be true and not being a reflection on what others think is true. And I'm guilty of this all the time, guys. I'm very formidable to be shaped by who I'm around. If people are a certain way, certain attitude, I kind of take on that attitude and persona. And I worked years of my life through counseling and therapy to kind of work through the mud and really realize who I am. But the longest time I didn't know who I was. I was simply a mirror and reflection off of what I thought was right based on the friend group I was in, especially during high school. High school was a really tough time for me because I had so many different friend groups and I almost had to shift my belief system based off of who I was. Looking back now, I realize that was incredibly unhealthy. Really, it was about suppressing my own emotions, and I didn't know how to process a lot of my emotions when I came out of high school. Through college and counseling and therapy, I finally am able to process how I'm feeling about certain topics and things, and now I'm an open book. I wear my heart on the sleeve, but that was not the case 10 years ago for me. And if you're feeling trapped, as in you don't know why you're feeling a certain way, it's important to reflect, really process what you're going through in those moments. I've noticed in my last video that journaling is great for me because journaling is basically a way of reflecting, whereas another hobby might be more of a distraction for you. I was talking with one of my friends the other day about how they love to do art, which is great. I love art. Art is wonderful to keep your mind busy through the tough times, but art is a means of distraction, whereas journaling or writing can be more of a reflection piece for you to kind of analyze what you're going through at those times. And I think that's really helpful, especially for someone like me who feels stuck a lot in their own head. A lot of times I know I'm feeling an emotion like anger or sadness or happiness, but I can't understand why I am. Another trick I've used is to just start opening up to people. And it's a weird thing to say practice, but you can practice talking to people about your feelings and your thoughts. If you're feeling stuck, a lot of times it's because you don't have a true outlet for your emotions, and it's important to find at least one or two people in your life that you can go to, pour your heart out to, people you trust, hopefully. But that's why it's important to have close people in real life, not just someone online or not just a post online. You are feeling sad, so you vent about it on your story, and then that's done. That's not really analyzing why you're feeling the way you are, and that's not going to help you moving forward with that stuck feeling you have. Another thing we're guilty of is projecting our emotions, especially on social media. I see this a lot where you have a sad post that you disagree with that you might not find that sad in all actuality, but all the comments under it are saying it's sad, giving a crying emoji, whatever it may be. And it can almost make you feel guilty for not feeling the same way as others about that. And that's perfectly okay. We are different people. It shows our humanness to not all agree on the same things. And again, that's why it's important to kind of take a step back, write down your feelings to yourself, and then try to understand why you're feeling them when you do. And sometimes we just feel bogged down with our emotions, right? It's just the weight of everything. We don't want to give ourselves the mental time, and we just get stuck. A lot of times depression hits hard when you don't feel anything. And that's really a common misconception, is that when you're depressed, you're just sad all the time. And that's not true in the slightest. Depression a lot of times manifests in a way where you don't feel anything that you think you should be feeling. And those times it's important to kind of turn the mirror on yourself and realize, what can I do differently with my day to make my brain just work a little bit harder for myself? And that's not about doing research. That's not about putting in time to read through self-help books. Not that they're not great, but there's simple things you can do in your day right now to feel better about yourself. And this is hard for someone like me, especially because I crave structure, right? I need a routine. I like consistency in my days, but even I have to admit to myself that that's not always the healthiest thing for me. If we're just going through the motions day in and day out, 7 days a week, we don't have that self-love time for ourselves. So what I try to do is I try to switch up my routine a little bit, and not terribly hard. We all have lives, we all have jobs, but if you can just break away from the consistency that you have a little bit. If you do dishes on Thursdays and Sundays, try doing them on Wednesdays and Saturdays. If you eat dinner at 7 o'clock, try eating dinner at 5:30. Little things like this will actually help you kind of break out of your shell. Now, going hand in hand that, it's important to set loving boundaries for yourself. Our time is valuable, just as valuable as anyone else's, whether that be reading a book in bed, making dinner, laying on the couch just to recover from the day. It's valuable, and you matter, and your time matters. It's really easy to fall into the monotonous routine of the week and your day, and it's important to take back your life a little bit. And it's whatever you want to be doing with your time. For me, I also like making a list. So make a list of activities you want to do for the week, for the day, and then do one little switch up of routine for your day, whether that be, again, eating dinner at a different time, or reading a different book, or doing something online that you normally wouldn't be doing online. And then set time aside for yourself for one big thing throughout the week. Just if that's going on a mini road trip, that's going to your favorite restaurant, whatever it is, make the time feel like yours again. And that's going to help you stop suppressing your emotions and help you branch out and realize that you are worth something more. And if you're a workaholic, I totally understand. I'm the same way too. I have a hard time getting home from work and really letting it go. No matter my most stressful job I've ever had or my least stressful job, I always bring home work with me, and I always want to do more. And it's a little hard with me being on salary. It's difficult for me to realize that quality of life time is important. And some of us work from home. Some of us have a really difficult time getting away from work because it's right in front of our face always. But set loving boundaries, set guidelines for yourself. If you work from home, you're done at 5 o'clock or whenever your time is. If you have 10, 11-hour days in your salary, when you get home, decompress, allow yourself a half-hour window to talk about work with your significant other, your friends, your family, think about it, reflect about it, and then move on. Let it go. You're home. Quality of life is important. And that's also going to help our emotions not be bogged down. Or if you're like me as well, I use work as a distraction sometimes from the real issues in my life. And that's also not healthy. It's not healthy to put all your eggs in one basket and pour yourself into a workflow and a work routine that's not going to give you the time and space that you need to deal with the rest of life going on around you. And lastly, I just want to tell you that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to feel and let people down and disappoint people, including yourself. Feeling is important. It's the number one thing we should do through all of this, is to allow ourselves to feel. And that's scary for a lot of people. It's scary to allow ourselves to feel sad. A lot of times we want to feel happy. We have the stigma about our culture that we have to be happy 24/7 all the time. And that's just not true, guys. You need to allow yourself the time to heal and the time to reflect. And this is a hard one for me because I don't like showing weakness. And a lot of males have that, but obviously females do struggle with that as well, as we don't want to show weakness around others. I am terribly afraid of disappointing people I care about. And if I can just keep all of my own stuff in my head aside for the moment while I help other people, then I tell myself I'm happy. But at the end of the day, when I fall asleep at night, I'm not. And you need to commit to the feeling of not being okay. And you need to understand that being flawed is just a cultural thing that we put on ourselves. You're not flawed. No one is flawed. We make mistakes. We have accidents. We make wrong decisions. And that's what helps us grow as a person. All these flaws do is that they reveal our humanness. And again, no one's perfect, and you should love yourself for all of your indifferences and flaws, just like you would want a significant other to. So there's a lot of helpful resources out there. Again, I'll have some links at the end of this video, but please take the time to give yourself space. It's really important to have your support system around you, whether that be a book to write in or a friend or family member. If you don't have access to that, there are resources out there that can help you. There are free crisis text lines. A lot of times therapists will have a free session that you can kind of get to know them without charge to you. And that might just help move the stone forward and take the next step in your life, to have someone as an outlet to express your emotions to. And just remember to give yourself space and grace that you deserve, because you matter and your feelings matter. And that should be it for today's discussion, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and giving me your time to listen to me. I hope this video helps you find hope and help through all of this craziness going on still with quarantine. If you have anything to add to today's discussion, please leave a comment down below. Like and subscribe to this page if you like it and want more content from me. I also stream mental health chats and positive gameplay on Twitch at twitch.tv/ilovepieguy. I do that usually every night, so please give me a follow on there as well if you're interested. I would love to chat with you guys in real time and get to know more of your stories and your experiences and help us build a good circle of trust and positivity around each other. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the flip side.